Oh, here we are, episode 8. Finally, I can finally take a break from this stupid ass show until at least 2021. Hopefully longer, but yeah, because I'm gonna need a break from this stupid. Mind you, I still have Picard, but it's a different kind of stupid. It wasn't until I started, watching these shows and movies and talking about them that I didn't realize there was that many different types of stupid. This is kind of weird because since it's the last episode of the season, I don't know if I should kind of do like a season overall coverage or whatever, but I'm gonna wing it, see what happens. I guess one thing to kind of give like an overall scope. Two things. One, for those of you who are fans of the Witcher show, you're all fucking idiots. You all have the brain power of a pile of shit. Just thought I'd, establish that. To give an example in just this episode, since I am covering this episode, and I hate to sound like a broken record for those people who have actually watched my coverage of this season, but it once again has to do with portals. Because there's this scene where you see the mages on a boat being rowed to the shore. And to help establish how goddamn stupid you are, most of you are going, why? What's the problem? It's like, mages can portal, you idiots! Why are they taking a boat to get to their destination? And this kind of leads up to the second point about this episode, because it was kind of hard, because for the most part, the writers are just idiots and they have no idea what they're doing. And they also don't really care because you fans are just so stupid it doesn't matter anyway. But this episode was kind of interesting because it actually seemed like the writers didn't even care about even doing the show. Because there was such minimal effort to even... This episode, just like other episodes that had filler, this episode had filler too. But this filler was just mind-numbing. There's that one scene where, later on in the episode, you have Tassia, and Geralt yelling, Yennefer, Yennefer, and it goes on for about a minute. I literally think by episode 8 the writers were going, we got paid, they didn't care, and the odd thing is it's in the episode because it's not even so much stupid, it's just lack of any actual effort of anything even happening in the show. Take the dragon fight. Okay, I can't remember which episode. And granted, there was stupid in it. But the fight and the action when it happened, it was actually interesting and it was exciting and there was action. When, episode 2, I think, right? When the Nilfgaard army was basically, attacking the city of Sintra. When the Nilfgaard army was attacking that refugee camp. But you had a fight between wizards and this army, and it was like the bare minimum that they barely used magic. And the fights were just, do this, and then they all just fell down. It was literally, get this, those little potion bottles, and spread out this gas, and have them just fall down. Or have, I forget her name, the one mage that created these little puff mushrooms or whatever, and they all just fell down. It was just, the only real fight scene in this movie was with that male mage doing the sword fight with Kahir, I think. What was his name? Kahir. That was the only half interesting fight. Even Geralt fighting, I guess it was those undead. Like it was boring. It was like, yeah, whatever the actor's name is. Just do whatever you want. We'll just film it, one take, and that's it. Like, they were just piling on them, and they were just, like, the editing of it didn't even match. You'd have one scene, you'd have the scene end with, like, 3 of the I guess they're undead, I don't know what they are, and I don't really care. You'd have, like, 3 of these creatures on Geralt, and then in the next scene, you'd have, like, nobody on Geralt and 2 of the creatures coming after him. It's like, they didn't even care that the editing wasn't even in sync or whatever. And that's and because this show was such low energy and had so little interest, it's kind of hard for me to put any effort into caring as well. So I really don't know how this is going to turn out. Like, for example, like Geralt, like the show starts with Geralt hanging out in Ciri's room. And it's like, well, why isn't he going to, like, look or go after or search for Ciri? Nah, who cares? We don't. This is what I mean by low energy. They didn't even care. And then the next scene, so he wanted to protect Ciri, right? It's all about protecting Ciri. Ciri's gone, and he's riding off. He's not even going after Ciri, or even trying to go after, like, follow the army wherever they went. Like, did somebody steal Ciri? Like, not even, the show didn't even care that Geralt lost Ciri. Just let him go off, and there's this merchant comes across this encampment, and there's all these dead people, right? And the merchant, for some reason, has to organize the bodies, and they've been dead for a week, and that's what caused these undead to just suddenly appear. Like it's not that it's just stupid, it's just so little effort was even bothered to, like, at least with the Striga, at least they bothered to try and put a story behind it when he fought the Sylvan, right? At least there was a story and effort into it. With the first creature from the very first episode, the Krakoa, I can't remember what it's called. At least they had this one. It was just, who cares? Who cares? Don't even bother giving a reason or anything. Just, they're there because we need a fight scene. At this point, nobody even cares if Geralt makes it or not. Oh yeah, Geralt. The merchant. I think it's the merchant that goes. No, I think it's Geralt that says, if you get bit, it'll kill you. And then, Geralt gets bit, and oh no, he dies! Oh no, what'll happen? Oh, I should probably get to it later, but to show the absolute bullshit of this scene, when Geralt regains consciousness, he grabs a potion, or a poultice, or whatever, drinks half of it, and pours it on. So let me see if I get this straight. Geralt had a potion to help combat the bite of these creatures. So why wouldn't he have brought it with him? Because he leaves, right? So he had time to prepare. And then, once the creatures attack the merchant, Geralt shows up. Well, because Geralt smelt that there was creatures coming. Apparently he knew that they were coming. He must have known what they were. Again, the show just did. I don't think this episode the writers even cared anymore. Because then we have the woman whose horse Siri stole just finds Siri. And she's not even mad at Siri for stealing her horse. Like, see, here's the thing. These aren't episodes that take a week between episodes. You guys binged watch this. Right? You guys who are fans of this show, you binged watch this. How do you forget the aspect that Siri stole that woman's horse? In viewership-wise, from the point from where Siri stole that woman's horse, must have been maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes of watch time, because episode 7 ends, episode 8 starts, and when you see the woman meeting Siri, I'd say at least a half an hour of watch time went by. And half an hour to 40 minutes of watch time, you forgot that Siri stole that woman's horse? You're fucking idiots. I don't know how else to explain to you how goddamn fucking stupid you are. And then she goes, oh, let me take you to my house. And she wants, and in the hopes of having her be her daughter, because she doesn't have a... Oh, and then you have, because episode 7 ends with her doing that, a kind of a scream, I guess. But you see I guess the guys that tried to kidnap her or go for the reward, you see them slung up on the trees. How? No answer, no explanation, no. And the worst part was, it wasn't even necessary. Like, you literally established a scene that made no sense and was not even necessary, and you didn't. Because, like I said, this show could have anything happen, and you guys don't care because you're too stupid to even notice that it didn't even make. For those of you who are fans of this show, when you saw those guys strung on the edges of on the trees, did it matter to you? Because it doesn't explain what happened, and when she screams, she doesn't then suddenly pass out. So it's not like she screamed, and if she does scream, it doesn't have that effect of suddenly throwing them back and that, they're suddenly draped on trees, dead. Then we have the mages on the boat. Mages on the boat because apparently they don't know how to portal or something. I feel like a broken record on constantly harping on the lack of this show using portals because but there's nothing I can do. The show keeps screwing up a fundamental magical capability of mages. Oh, okay, this is a small thing, but again, so Yennefer is talking to that male mage. I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. The mage asks Yennefer, "Why did you come?" And Yennefer just walks away, doesn't even answer. And it's like, okay, why do you do this? Why does this show? Not only does this show not have a reason to have Yennefer be in this episode, it actually exposes that Yennefer has no reason to be in this show. Or in this episode. Or in the show altogether. Like, because the guy asks, "Why are you here?" And like the writers go, "We have no clue. So we're not going to have Yennefer answer." So then why have the mage ask the question in the first place? All you're doing is then again, here's the problem. Your fan base are so fucking stupid, even when the show exposes that there's no reason for Yennefer to be in this show, you idiots still don't get it. Oh, and then Yennefer is talking to some woman, and something about I feathers. She creates feathers or whatever. And she goes, she goes, I wish I could do that. And Yennefer goes, it's magic. It's not real. What show is this? Like, how do the writers not understand that in this show, magic isn't real? So what was all that bullshit during the fight? Was any of that real? What are you talking about? It's magic, it's not real. Then we have Yennefer and Tassia waste time. I wrote this down. Then we have Cahir and Fringilla waste time. And then we have Ciri and the Stable Boy waste time. And then we have the mages. What I thought were fireballs. And I'm going, finally! A bunch of mages casting a fireball. It took till episode 8. But thank God we finally got a fireball. Until for some reason, it's not even a fireball. It's some type of ignited rock of fire that could be easily replaced by putting a boulder in, I think it was a trebuchet. I think that's what that weapon was. I think it's called a trebuchet. They used magic that could have easily been replaced by using a rock, tar, oil, and a torch. That's the magic. And not only that, it was magic that each mage could only use once because it consumed them. It consumed them. What? A magical spell, if you want to even call it that could be easily be replicated by taking a boulder, putting tar on it, oil, and lighting it up. That level of magic consumes the body. What, is this suddenly supposed to be them? Oh yeah, we remember. Magic has a cost. Except when Fringilla brings out those 2 boxes of worms, this show doesn't even care. I'm telling you, in this episode, the writers didn't care. Because you as an audience don't care, because what do you know? Now, of course, Geralt is alive, and the old man is going to bring Geralt to his farm. Why? What purpose? Okay, then Fringilla goes, we gotta have a plan to draw them out. And then she has this one mage create this fog, and then suddenly it's now to create a fog to hide the enemy. What happened to drawing them out? You were supposed to do some magic to draw out the mages. So you go to this guy and go, here, go cast this fog spell to go hide the army that's our approaching army. What? None of that. Like I said, I can't even get mad at the stupid because it's just such low effort stupid. Then we have that male mage who teleports. They don't even bother even doing a portal. This is what I mean by minimal effort. They don't even bother doing the special effects for a portal. He just teleports in. And the mage... Okay, I wrote this down. And the mage goes sword to sword with Cahir. Gee, if only the mage had an advantage like magic that he could use. Nope, I guess the mage will just have to use his sword skills. After all, it's not like the mage has any magic skills at his disposal. Do you understand how goddamn stupid that fight scene was of a mage versus a warrior, and the mage is using and his magic was being able to constantly recreate his sword, and he could only do it 3 times. Come on! How can I not watch this episode, not watch this show, and not expect to establish how you fans of this show are fucking morons? You had a mage who used no magic against his opponent, but only used his magic to constantly recreate his sword because Kahir kept tossing it or getting it out of his hand. Like, you're fucking idiots. You're just fucking idiots. Then, okay, this was funny. This was funny. Okay, Fringilla creates a portal on the ground, and she has these has a bunch of archers around it, and I'm going, what the hell? Are they gonna jump in and then just no? Get this. She has the archers aim into the portal, blind, absolutely blind, no goddamn clue what they're doing, no idea where their target is. They fire into the portal, and apparently the portal works at whatever goes in, and hits like 5 people. Like one volley, firing blind. Okay, like that goes beyond rolling a 20 on a D20, boys and girls. Okay, that's such bullshit, and they only do it the one time. And not only that, if only there was a mage on a high position looking down where the portal was, who could possibly do something to cast magic through the portal of some kind of an attack. Like, this show was, it's stupid, but it's like the show doesn't even care anymore. Because it's not even a standard battle plan. It's like they did it the one time, shot the one volley of arrows, and then that was it. Nobody goes in, again, there's just so lack of effort in this episode, and so lack of interest. Then we have all the mages suddenly losing because apparently they forgot how to use magic, right? Oh, and then what was it? And then Trish, I think it is, right? Creates this vine web to cover the opening of where the gates are, right? And apparently doesn't have the brain power to take like a half move back to be at least 5-10 feet away to be out of the reach of the soldiers. Like, why? She's creating the web, and she has to be literally this far away from the web, as opposed to, 10 feet away or 5 feet away. No, she has to be this close to the web of vines, so that way the soldiers can reach through. Like you're fucking idiots. I cannot convey emphatically enough how fucking stupid you fans of this show are. Okay? Like, any of you who play D&D, if any of you who play D&D, okay, watch that scene, tell me that if the mage in your group did something as stupid as that, you wouldn't have called it out? You wouldn't have gone, your DM would have made made that mage make a goddamn wisdom check or an intelligence check to make you go, that's a fucking stupid idea. Like, even if you're a fan, even if you're a blind, stupid ass, bonehead, brain dead, shit stained Witcher fan, and so stupid to be such a fan of this show, even if you play D&D at a basic minimal level, if you've done any level of combat, you would have not, you should have at least seen that scene and go, that's stupid. And then I was wondering about, by around this time, I was wondering, because then the guy that mage that created the fog, right, suddenly consumes himself and is gone. Like, when did magic suddenly have such a high cost? Like, but then he dropped the container and apparently had all these worms in it, right? And I'm going, whatever happened to that? Like, it's been a while since we last saw that. Then we have, I think I wrote it down. I think it's Sabrina and the two young boys. How did the worms or whatever those things were get in their ears? No fucking clue. No explanation. And you fans of this show were too fucking stupid to even notice that there was no reason or any ability whatsoever for those worms to have gotten into their ears. Not only that, why only those three? Why didn't they get into the ears of everybody else? No, just those three. Those two boys, because the show being so low effort and so useless, we only needed so that the worms go in the ears of the two boys because they only need to drop those potion bottles that explode and Sabrina so that she can go attack Yennefer. How is that not low effort, brain dead, useless writing? And you guys are just too stupid to even notice it. And then we have Geralt getting, I think it's like a poultice or whatever from some woman. Okay, because it's like, he goes to the merchant, right? Take me to, I think it's to Sodden, to his house, right? Apparently, along the way, the merchant was yelling for help, which is how this random healer out of nowhere just happened to find him, and it's his mother! Like, fuck you, show! Like, fuck you! It's his mother, and it's kind of like a dream. It didn't actually happen, but then how did he get healed? Like, the level of bullshit that encompassed his mother being a dream that somehow this show could have, if you saw that scene of Geralt suddenly waking up under a tree, being healed, because if she's a dream, if she doesn't exist, why the fuck did the merchant stop in the first place? If the mother was never there, if the mother was just a dream, okay, you fucking idiots, then the merchant would have never stopped in the first place. He would have gone straight to the house. Why, if she's just a dream, why would she say a merchant was yelling for help? She's a dream. Like, if you saw that scene with all the levels of stupid, all the absolute levels of bullshit required to have that scene exist the way it did. I've used this example before, and I'll use it again. This show could have a scene of Geralt waking up on the goddamn moon, and if you didn't have a problem with that level of stupidity of the ghost of his mother somehow healing him, if you didn't have a problem with that level, him suddenly waking up on the moon is the same level of stupid and illogic. Okay? I'm sorry. This show could have Geralt wake up on the moon, and you fucking idiots are too ignorant and stupid to ever think that doesn't make sense. Then Yennefer creates this firestorm. and literally wipes out and takes out everybody. Why didn't you start with that in the goddamn first place? There was literally no sacrifice. As far as we know, there was no sacrifice on Yennefer's part. Okay? You goddamn know she's going to be in season 2. You can have the mages create like that little fire rock. That'll consume them. Yennefer can create a goddamn firestorm that takes out the entire Nilfgaard army and is not going to have any problem whatsoever. If that's the case, why didn't you have that as your first plan of attack? Maybe you wouldn't have had so many deaths. Cassian, Geralt yelling Yennefer, and then we have the Ciri. And then Ciri finds Geralt. Because it's the last scene of the last episode of the season, so, like, literally, they could not have met, and it would have meant nothing. It was simply to try and give some type of closure or whatever. This episode was just such a waste. It really was. Well, it's hard to say it was a waste because it's not like there's any good in the show anyway. Overall, the show's a piece of shit. Okay? I don't know how else to explain this show in a nutshell other than it's a piece of shit and you have to be a fucking moron to be able to make it through this show. Okay? There's really no retrospective of this. There's really no other retrospective of this show other than that. Thank God I don't have to deal with this show for at least a year at the minimum, I hope. Maybe by then I'll be willing to deal with this level of stupid again. I guess the reason I'm so upset and so angry at all this stupid, I wanted this to be a good show. I wanted to like The Witcher. I was looking forward to it. And after 8 seasons of goddamn stupid, it's like, that's why I'm angry. Like, if I had no expectations for this show, like Picard or whatever, I wouldn't have been as pissed at this show in the first place. Anyway. No more Witcher for a while. It's the only benefit of this goddamn episode. Anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.